Hey everyone, it's me, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about religion. Someone had kind of asked me about my views on religion a while ago, and I just never got around to making a video, so I thought I would do that now. Religion. I myself have kind of an interesting history with religion. I actually grew up in a Christian household. I was Lutheran specifically. My mom was Eastern Orthodox as a child, and then actually she converted my dad to Christianity, and they became Lutheran. And so I was raised in a Lutheran household. I was baptized when I was only a few months old, and all of that wonderful stuff that comes with being raised as a Christian. I went to church since the time I was born, and we went every single week, and it was something that was really important in my house was faith and religion. And actually, when I was in kindergarten, I started going to a Lutheran school. So I obviously had religion was a huge part of my life then, because we had religion class every single day. We had classes, and we would read the Bible and learn specific lessons and stuff like that. And as I got older, we did things like we had to memorize the 10 Commandments. We had to memorize the Apostles' Creed and the Nicene Creed. And every week we had what was called a memory verse. And basically it was a Bible verse, and you had to memorize it and be able to say it, and then you would get a grade on your memory verse. So we did stuff like that as I got older in the school, because I went there from from grades kindergarten to 8th grade. So, obviously religion was a big part of my life because I was surrounded by it every single day. I always joke that Saturday was the only day I didn't have religion in my life, because I had religion class and stuff every day in school, and obviously the school was built around religion, so, religion was built into kind of everything. And also we had church on Wednesdays at my school. We would go to church, a school-wide church service on Wednesdays. And then Sundays I would do church and Sunday school. So, religion was obviously a big part of my life growing up. All my friends were Christian. All my family was Christian. I don't think I really knew anybody that wasn't. And I actually kind of had a hand. When I was about 7 years old, I kind of converted my cousin and my aunt into Christianity. I was really into it, and I really thought I had to be, the good shepherd and get people into it, and people that weren't Christian were bad, and that wasn't necessarily my thinking. That was what I was told. If you're not Christian, you're going to hell. So a lot of it was I didn't want to see my cousin going to hell, so that was why I did it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I really did believe a lot of the teachings of the church and stuff, but I don't know, I try to think about when I was around 5th, 6th, 7th grade. I don't really remember, talking about religion a lot, besides when I had to, you know what I'm saying? My friends and I didn't sit around and talk about Jesus. In that sense, it wasn't a part of my life, in that I didn't want it to overtake stuff, and I started not really liking going to church and stuff. I didn't really want to go. I was forced to go, but I didn't want to. And also, you have something called a confirmation, and some churches do this. It depends on the denomination, but in Lutheranism, your confirmation basically confirms your baptism. So you're saying I believe in everything the church teaches, and I want to be a member of the church, and I'm affirming that my baptism, and that I believe in Jesus Christ and all that stuff. So you do that, but you don't just do that. You have to do classes and stuff. So in my church, you have to do 3 years of confirmation classes. So it's a really long time. So we did classes every 2 weeks for 2 or 3 hours a night. It would be a weeknight, and you would 2 or 3 hours. And we would do various stuff, and we also had assignments and stuff. We also had to memorize Bible verses. I think also the Apostles' Creed. There's various things that we had to do. And that was, going through that process, I didn't really enjoy it. I just kind of did it because you know, that's what everyone did. You know, you went and you did your confirmation classes, and you were kind of expected to, you know. It would have been hard to be like a member of the church at that age, that you're supposed to be taking confirmation classes and not taking the classes, you know. So I was kind of just pressured into it or whatever. And then I started really questioning religion when I was about 13 years old. I remember I was actually reading a book. It was called Conversations with God. It's really good. I'd recommend that anyone read it, and because it's interesting. And I remember like reading the ideas in it, but they weren't really, well, okay, at the time I saw them as really radical ideas. I saw them as very progressive ideas, and it was a progressive way of thinking, I guess. It was a new way of thinking. And it was a way I'd never thought about before. I'd never really taken the time to think about what Christianity was teaching me, what I believed because I was a Christian and everything. And the book was more about like spirituality, and, you know, we're all one and we're all connected, and, you know, God doesn't hate you or want to punish you, and God is ever loving and ever present, and you know, even things like sexuality and stuff aren't supposed to be suppressed or shameful or wrong, and it had some interesting thoughts I had never really considered, and it really just kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I remember actually I had started reading it when I was 12, but I remember just kind of rejecting it because I thought it was so absurd. I was like, this can't possibly like be true, you know what I'm saying? And I just kind of like put it aside, and then I brought it on vacation when I was 13, and I read it and I really liked it, and I don't know, I started thinking differently, and I started to question things, and that's when I really got going on the questioning train. I started to read a lot about religion. I started to think more about like what I was being told in religion class, and I have some good stories that I could also share in another video. And I just was really starting to open my eyes a little bit, and I was not really taking everything for granted that I was being told. And I really just kind of was confused. I was going through a little bit of confusion, and I wanted to find out what I believed, because I was kind of going through like, I know that Christianity is not true. I'm discovering that, and I don't know what is true, though. Like, what is true? So I started doing a lot of research. I read about all kinds of different religions. I emailed some different like rabbis and pastors and things, and I just threw myself into it. I talked to people. I just thought about things. I reflected on my experiences. Like, that was the kind of stuff I was doing because I thought it was really important, and I wanted to really have like a genuine spirituality, and I didn't want to be in a religion that I disagreed with. So eventually I told my mom that I didn't know how to tell her that I was kind of becoming done with Christianity. Like, I was getting anxious about how to do this. And I told her around April of when I was 14. So it had been about 8 or 9 months since I had started this whole process. But I basically talked to my mom, and I don't know why. It just kind of happened randomly, and I didn't think it out. I think I was just so anxious and nervous about it. It just kind of came out, you know. It's like you just like threw it up, you know. And I remember we were just like in the doctor's office, and I don't know, we were just like waiting for the doctor, and the doctor was taking like forever. And I remember I just like kind of randomly came out and was like, I don't really believe in Christianity anymore. You know, like I don't know what I believe. I don't know. I'm not sure. And I remember my mom was like saying that she didn't want me to go to hell, and it was a pretty sad moment, I guess, just because I was disappointed. It's like, wow, like that's really your first thought. Like, those are what you're gonna say, is that you really like believe in hell, and like you really think I'm gonna go to hell because I don't believe in Christianity? Like, this dogmatic thinking is really to what pissed me off, and like saying something like that, it just kind of like set me off. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of the stick that broke the camel's back. You know, it was just kind of like the last straw for me. and Christianity, and I started being more open about it, though, and I was like, I don't want to make my confirmation, and, you know, because I didn't, you know, you're confirming you're a member of the church. I don't want to be a member of the church. Fuck the church, you know? And basically my mom made me do it. Like, she's like, you can leave religion when you make your confirmation. So I don't know how that makes any sense, because if I'm confirming that I'm belonging to a religion, then I just leave. I don't know. I still don't understand the logic. But basically, I had to do it. So I just sucked it up and made my confirmation, and I was done. And I was very angry. I was going through kind of an angry time where I was angry at religion, and I guess just angry in general for being indoctrinated. And I still use that word just because, you know, I was never given a chance to, like, explore religion as a child. I was just forced into Christianity, and I didn't get to explore anything else. So I was just really mad and upset about it, and it was something that really affected me for a long time. And I eventually then I started reading more books about atheism, because as I was exploring religion, atheism and agnosticism came up. And at first, I declared myself to be an agnostic, because the term atheist kind of scared me, to be honest. And eventually, I thought more about it, I did more reading and stuff, and I was like, I'm an atheist. Like, there's no way a God is out there, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, God does not make sense. So I pretty much rejected all gods and religions, and I was an atheist. I was really hardcore, and I was really angry too for the longest time, for like a year and a half. And I was just angry, and all I wanted to do was just, you know, basically say, like, fuck religion. And I just wanted to, like, put all of this negative energy into religion. I wanted it to, like, be gone. And if anyone was religious, I'd immediately judge them, and I would put all these labels on them, and I would really not really be interested in them as people, because it was just such an issue for me. And eventually I kind of got back to being an agnostic, and then I did more reading and stuff about, like, spirituality, and spirituality not including religion, like just being a spiritual person, and, you know, recognizing that you can still believe in God without having a religion. So I really am still kind of in that, and I became that when I was around 16 years old, and I still consider myself a spiritualist today, and I have a kind of unique belief set that will take too long for me to explain, but I'm basically a spiritualist. Religion, spirituality even, is not really that big part of my life. Like, I don't really think about it very often. I don't, like, really pray or meditate or anything. I probably should start meditating, because it has a lot of health benefits and stuff. But yeah, that's basically my history with religion. I don't really have as strong a hate for religion anymore, but I think that it can be damaging, and I think specifically I have a lot of issues with Christianity, not so much some of the Eastern religions and things like that. But yeah, so basically those are my religion thoughts and history and background. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I don't know if this is good, you guys. If you had, like, an expectation, like, as to what my beliefs were. I would love to know, though, like, if you would want to tell me, like, what you thought, or if you thought anything, or I don't know. So okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. Mwah. Bye.